It's Wednesday, you know what that means, it's time for the latest live weekly event from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and this week we have got copy and paste exercise number 13, Mercedes-Benz anniversary, I joke of course. This valid up until the 2nd of July. Mercedes-Benz is 1 year older on its birthday. Mercedes-Benz is 1 year closer to turning 100, no shit. We're doing it this week for an avatar cosmetic, which is a set of goggles. Expectation will be 70 points required. Let's take a look at what we've got in store for us this week. Kicking things off on Hong Kong Island. First of all, we have got Das Best Drive, a 4.5 mile 2-lap foggy asphalt circuit race. What's this going to be? Grand Tourer or Daily Driver, Mercedes AMG versus or Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, you kind of get the gist there. A Daily Driver, a Grand Tourer, a Mercedes-Benz or a Mercedes-Benz AMG with no PR cap here once again. Yeah, that's alright. We'll see what we've got in store when we get to it. Second is German Elegance. 3.4 mile supercar Mercedes AMG race on asphalt. It's clear. How many Mercedes AMG supercars do we actually have in this game? I'm going to get back to that one shortly. Lastly, here on Hong Kong Island, Rolling In It, a 3.6 mile 3-lap foggy nighttime race on asphalt. I'm going to suspect that one to be a wet one, and it is the SLK 55 AMG Performance Pack, which I have bought for today's video. Try not to spend money, and I find myself coming back spending money for these live weekly events. But I'm going to come back to this one, the German Elegance, Mercedes AMG supercar only. How many Mercedes AMG supercars do we have in this game? We have got the Mercedes AMG GTR. Is that all we have? German performance, German cars. I don't believe we're going to have anything else that's going to be valid for this. Luxury cars. No. So they could have just called it the Mercedes AMG GTR race, I believe. I might be wrong. I'll have a look at that when I get into it. But yeah, that's a strange way to title a race where we've only got one possible car for that race. What we're going to do then, we'll start off with the lowest to the highest, I guess. Here we'll do the Daily Driver race. We'll head on over. We'll maybe start here actually with the circuit race. Yeah, let's start off with Rolling In It. We'll then head on over, we'll take a look at Das Best Drive, and then lastly on Hong Kong Island we will do the German Elegance. So to kick us off, like we mentioned, we'll start off with the perhaps lower ranked races. We'll head on over towards the supercar AMG GTR race and we'll see what we've got in store. Fairly excited for this one, and I say that with some dulcet tones. Patience is wearing thin, but we've got a good selection, I would say, a fair selection, maybe not a good selection, a fair selections of Mercedes in this game, so it's one we could perhaps start to look forward to. We'll kick it off as mentioned with Rolling In It, the SLK 55 AMG Performance Pack, a 3-lap foggy nighttime race on asphalt, and I did have to buy this car for this race. And not only did I buy the car, I bought a couple of small modifications, not much. Treated myself, if you like, for a bit of an experience in the SLK 55. We'll see what it's got. It is a good looking car. The Mercedes Silver just looks fantastic in this game. Single car series, which is going to be interesting. AI, probably not going to be very interesting, but the first experience in the SLK 55, kind of looking forward to it. I do have semi-slick tyres fitted, and I do have the Sport Tune applied to this one. And again, a couple of tasteful upgrades, nothing ludicrous. With it being, whoa, the brakes are not good. With it being a very lady Mercedes-Benz, I don't want to put too much power through that rear axle. And we can see it is a fairly wet road surface. Expectation was that it was going to be wet. Hong Kong nighttime, you're going to be lucky. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a dry Hong Kong nighttime race. So yeah, expectation was for it to be wet. It is indeed wet. And the first experience of the SLK 55, well, it's an interesting car. It certainly sounds interesting. The brakes are absolutely awful, so they do need a little bit of work there. I don't know how I feel about the car. The brakes are absolutely shocking, guys. I don't know if that's the Sport Tune or just the fact that I have got standard brakes fitted to this, but the brakes are not good. much improvement needed, but I don't mind that. You should know that by now. I like coming in and playing about, tinkering with the cars, perhaps trying to formulate a little bit of a build. And judging by how this one's handling at the early stages, or the halfway mark even of this race, it needs a little bit of tinkering, but as it is, yeah, it's going to be an easy enough race to blast through. You can see on the left of the screen, I am on expert mode, and the AI are not challenging me, so yeah, it's a nice race to kick things off with today. Can we get the roof down? Not whilst we're driving. Oh yeah, we can. There we go, we can get the roof down. Maybe it acts as an air brake for us here, who knows. Of course, it's not going to. The game physics aren't that good. But there we go, a little bit of the roof down, fantastic. SLK55 AMG purchase then. Is it worth the 200,000 coins? Do you know what? It's not a bad car. It's not perfect. It never is going to be, but it looks alright, it sounds alright, it handles alright. Brakes are just non-existent. They're either fully locking up or they just don't work. Yeah, brakes definitely did a little bit of work, but other than that, yeah, it's not a bad car. Probably worth the 267,000 coins or something it cost. It's not bad. Bolsters the garage a little bit, gives us a different car essentially to drive here. I'm not going to complain all too much, although I've done nothing but complain so far. It's just the mood I'm in today. I do apologise, but yeah, the race itself, what we've got, 4.5 second lead. It's not been clean, it's not been quick, but as we can see, it's not been troublesome against the rest of the AI. The car is not fully upgraded. A couple of tasteful tweaks, I think exhaust system, intake, semi-slick tyres, the short gearbox, not much. And as we can see, the race itself is not going to pose us all too many issues other than our driving ability and the god-awful brakes this SLK55 has. Yeah, it's a nice way to kick us off with today. A very nice easy win and a nice... oh, no, there we go. I knew it was going to happen at some point, losing the back end of a Mercedes in today's video. And with that win, of course, we can get our first win on the board. We've got our first 10 points, and as expected, with it just being a lackluster reward for the weekly event, it is indeed 70 points required, 7 race wins. It's going to be an easy one to knock out this week once again, guys. And with that first win on the board, we will of course then head over to our second race for today. What's it going to be, Daily Driver or Grand Tourer? I'm not against using this SL65, I believe this is. Not the best on Mercedes knowledge, I will be perfectly honest with you, but again, another car I've not actually used all too much in the game. I actually think I bought this for a previous live weekly event, so we'll see what this one throws at us. Just 75 miles I've done with this car. But yeah, next race on the board is going to be Das Best Drive, a 2-lap circuit race. It's foggy, it's dusk, it's asphalt, Daily Driver Grand Tourer, Mercedes AMG, Mercedes Benz. And coming into this one, I've actually decided not to use the SL65. I'm using a car I've not actually used for racing as of yet, a car I genuinely forgot I even owned. The SLS AMG. You can see I've only done 19 miles in this car. This of course came with the gold edition of the game that I've got, and I've not actually used this for any racing in game so far. It has literally just been for delivery missions and nothing else. And that first corner was very kind to us. We managed to thread the needle through the rest of the pack, and it is a very wet race that we have got here, so standard road tyres are probably going to be the way forward. I don't think we get away with semi-slicks here. This is why I don't tend to use the SLS. It is so tail happy, and wow, yeah, very tail happy. And as we can see, that wet road surface is not going to be beneficial to an AMG Mercedes. All that power, all that torque through the rear axle. It was a little bit of a worry coming into this week's events, but we're not doing too bad as long as we're a little bit cautious around some of these high G zones like that one right there, and you know, a bit careful putting the power down, I would say, especially with no traction control. Yeah, we should be alright, but we can see the SLS, it is so unbelievably tail happy. But it's quite nice, it's quite refreshing actually to get into this car and use it for racing. As I said, I've realistically only really used this in the delivery missions that we've got over on the Ibiza map. So it's quite nice actually to come in and physically race the car. Not the cleanest of racing, again for me, common trend now I think with these initial walkthroughs of the live weekly events. Perhaps concentrating too much on talking and looking at the camera, but hey ho. it is what it is. It gives us the satisfaction perhaps when I come back and miss a corner. When I come back to these events on the live stream, which happens on the Mondays now, and some of you guys can jump in as well, and we go back over these live races. We can see what they've got for us. This one here is probably one I'm going to want to come back to. Not putting a fast time down whatsoever. Taking out as much street furniture as I possibly can. But we can see it's a fairly easy race in terms of challenges from the AI. Probably going to be a common trend throughout today's video. I do feel, given that the first two races, yeah, they've largely been the same. No challenge from the AI. Slightly wet road conditions entail happy Mercedes, but it's fun, it's what we want. It is what we want to see. Round this big right-hander, I'm very worried about that back end stepping out, but it actually behaved for me there. That's not too bad. Down into a heavy left braking zone. Got to miss these tram stops just here. Yep, brakes locking up just a little bit. I have got this thing on a circuit tune with no upgrades. I have never spent a penny on this car, apart from real money when it came to the game. But we can forget about that for now. The car itself, yeah, in-game I've never spent $1 onto it, and I did manage to hold the back end just there. So yeah, it's actually nice to jump into the SLS AMG for a little bit of aggressive racing. Perhaps not doing it any justice, but we've got a second win on the board, guys. We'll see what we've got here. And what we do have, well, it won't be a surprise. The second set of points on the board now, 20 out of 70, 5 more race wins, and we have got those goggles, I think it was, the live weekly event reward. I forget. 20 points on the board, nonetheless. And with that, we will of course head on over to the third and final race on the Hong Kong Island map. Yes, this will be the third race. My God, don't even remember what I've done so far. We'll head on over to the third race, which is going to be the Mercedes supercar race. And I still have questions. How many Mercedes supercars do we actually have in this game? To my knowledge, from what I did look through the garage, the dealerships, I believe it is only one. I can't think of another one, and I may be missing something blatantly obvious, and you're screaming at the monitor right now, you forgot about this car. We'll have a look when we get into the race. But it's a 3.4 mile clear dusk sprint on asphalt, supercar, AMG, no PR cap. How much of a mistake have I made? Is there more than the AMG GTR? And after looking through the garage, looking through the leaderboards, and looking at the start grid, there is only one Mercedes AMG supercar in this game. It perplexes me sometimes, the wording this game uses. Use any Mercedes AMG supercar that you've got in the garage, but there's only one in the game. Just call it an AMG GTR race, for crying out loud. We know what we've got here, we know we've not got the car selection, just tell us like it is. Nonetheless, oh, this is actually a wet race, and I have got slick tyres, and I've just missed my corner. Okay, I was expecting this race to be a dry race. Will we get away with the slick tyres here? It doesn't feel all too bad. I do think the semi-slicks are probably going to be better if we have to use, or if you want to use the slick tyres. I think the semis are going to be the better option. There is a little bit of water on this road surface. Traction isn't optimal. Slick tyres are probably going to be a bit dangerous. It may even be a race for the standard road tyres, but judging that I'm actually getting a little bit of grip, I would assume that the semi-slick tyres are probably going to be the best option here for the AMG GTR, but as it is, we're not actually doing all too bad. Again, it's only against the AI. I imagine when we come back on stream on Monday up against some very challenging opponents, it won't be as easy as what this one is, but I think we're going to get away with it for today's video using the slicks. Careful of that turn off, guys, that corner comes at you quite quickly. Yeah, I think we're going to get away with the slick tyres. Semi-slicks will likely be optimal, and again you can see the back end just stepping out when we want to get a little bit of power down. I do like to use this vehicle, this AMG GTR, with a little bit of traction control, and I've not done it for today's video, but this thing handles like nothing you would believe with a little bit of traction control. And the likelihood is when I come back to tackle this sprint race, I think it is, yeah, with a little bit of conviction, I will be having a little bit of traction control, because this AMG GTR handles so unbelievably well with just 25% traction control applied. A couple of tight little sections there, and as soon as I tried to get the power down again, you would have seen just there the back end of the AMG stepping out on me. So it isn't the simple sprint I was thinking we're coming into, especially not with that added little flurry of water, did I say? A little bit of water sitting on the road surface. It's not a straightforward race, but definitely room for improvement, staying off some of these bollards and whatnot. Definite room for improvement, but it is a good race, and I imagine when we come back in here with a half-full lobby, because we can't get a full lobby, we're going to have a good laugh and a good challenge on our hands. And of course with that, we've got the 30th set of points on the board, 4 more race wins. Let's head on over to Ibiza and see what races we've got in store over there. So heading over to Ibiza, what have we got in store here? We have got the Silver Arrow race, a 2.3 mile 4 lap, dry, clear, asphalt race. Unsurprisingly, I knew this car was going to crop up at some point, a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, and that's going to have a little bit of a restriction. If you haven't already done the scavenger hunt to find that vehicle, you're not going to be able to do that race. I don't like to see that. It forces people to do one thing to be able to do this race, which I'll touch on shortly. But the fact is, if you don't have the 300 SL, you can't participate in that race. Now, I like that they've been clear with this one, that it's only that car for this race, unlike we had with the supercar AMG race. I like that it's clear, but the fact is a lot of people won't be able to do that race because they haven't done the scavenger hunt. I don't love it, but it is what it is. I'm fortunate I've done it. I've got a tuned 300 SL. I can take on that race, but I know a lot of people playing the game, maybe just picking up the game, cannot do that race. Moving over to the second one, and it's the 3-pronged attack. And another one I knew was going to crop up. Mercedes AMG G65 Final Edition, i.e. the G-Wagon. A 2.5 mile sprint, 61% gravel, 39% asphalt. I don't own the G-Wagon, and I don't think I want to own it. I don't like it as a car, I don't like the people that drive it, but one race, reward of 18,500. How much does a G-Wagon actually cost? And yeah, as I kind of suspected here, the G65 or the G-Wagon at the off-road dealership is 1.5 million credits. One, I hate G-Wagons. Not the physical car, I've spoke about it a lot, I just hate the people that drive them. But 1.5 million to complete that one race, I don't think it's going to be for me. I don't want to own the G-Wagon. I know a lot of you guys like it. I know a lot of you guys use it. Haggis McMutton, for instance, has an unbelievably quick G-Wagon. But out of principle right now, I'm probably not going to buy that. One, it's 1.5 million. I want to try and save back up towards 50 million. I'm 47.5 just now. I want to have that 50 million back for season 4. I did have 50 million on Friday's stream. I bought a Vulcan. I'm working back to it again. But yeah, back to the actual fact here, that G-Wagon is 1.5 million, and unfortunately it's another live event race, the second one out of all of these races that I'm going to pass on. I don't want to spend 1.5 million just to complete that one race. So yeah, with that fact, I'm not going to buy the G-Wagon. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm not going to spend 1.5 million for an 18,000 reward for a car I don't want in a race that's probably not going to be worth it. I'll probably just persist here with that 300 SL race, make up the money, make up the points, complete off the live weekly event, and it'll be another one in the bag. Now, I know it's going to be disappointing. People want to see me buy cars, use different cars, but much like we had previous weeks, buy the Jaguar D-Type. It was 18 million to get 18,000 rewards. With the vast amount of off-road vehicles I've already got that, in my opinion, are better than the G-Wagon, right now it doesn't seem beneficial for me to drop 1.5 million on a G-Wagon when I don't want it. So what we're going to do is the Silver Arrows race, a 4-lap circuit race. It's clear, it's asphalt, and it is in the 300 SL. So coming into it, in the 300 SL, it's a marvellous looking race. It is a fantastic car and it sounds extraordinary. I do like the 300 SL. I like it even more that it was a scavenger hunt to find this car. Essentially, it was free. All it cost was our time to actually hunt for it. The race itself that we're going to have in store here, just missing that little pillar that we had here, right, is going to be a nice little tight, tricky race it looks like so far. It is 4 laps, so it makes me wonder how long. Okay, it's not a long race. I can see the mini-map now. It is literally just a little ring race, so that's not too bad. It's yeah, it's going to be a quick one, especially if you're like me and you've got a fully upgraded, fully modified, tuned 300 SL. This may be one of those ones again, guys. We tend to have this every week. There's one race that's very quick to just jump in, blast through 5-10 times, however many times it takes to actually complete off the live event. If you're a completionist, this is going to be the race. 55 seconds, we're already halfway through lap 2. It's going to be like a 2-minute race or something, barring any mistakes like I just made there. Making mistakes on a race that isn't even that hard. Finishing lap number 2 there with a 20-second lead. Yeah, this is going to be the race to do, guys. It's going to be around about a 2-minute, maybe a 2-minute 10 race, depending on how tuned up your 300 SL is. But I like it. It brings something different, okay? I know a lot of people want to see long, extravagant races. I myself, I like the longer races. However, having the outlier like this is, it's a quick race, it's repetitive, it's very short laps. I don't mind that being introduced. I actually quite like it. It brings something different, and if you are just looking to come in and blast through this week's live weekly events, this is the race to do. But of course it comes with that caveat: if you haven't done the scavenger hunt to find the 300 SL, you're not going to be able to participate in it, which is unfortunate. So yeah, make sure you've done that scavenger hunt. It's not all too hard to do. There's plenty of videos out there where all the locations are and such. But as it is, yeah, we're almost finished the race. We're actually about to lap the rest of the pack. If I was a little bit cleaner with the race, yeah, I would have actually lapped the pack. I think I might get a couple of guys here, maybe even just one. Yeah, a very easy win to box off this week's live weekly event. And off camera, I have completed off all of the races. Now I just rinse and repeat that race a few times, around about 2-minute 10. It's not going to be a problem. All 70 points now collected for the goggles cosmetic. It is what it is. I'm not going to slam on it, but I'm probably never going to use them. Was it worth my time? Answers on a postcard, but it's in the bag. Another live weekly event now boxed off. So you guys have your say, have your opinion. How did you find this week's live weekly events? For me, it was an interesting one. I didn't mind it all too much. Yes, it might be disappointing that I didn't purchase the G-Wagon. It's just not a car for me. But the added caveat then again of the 300 SL, well, if you don't have that car and you haven't completed it, you can't participate in all of the races. Yeah, it's going to be a hit or a miss for many. I fairly enjoyed it. I'm going to be back to take it on again. It's not going to be a surprise. It'll probably be on Monday's stream of next week. We'll jump on there, we'll take on the races again. We'll invite some people in to do the races with us like we did on Monday just there. It was a huge success. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you go in and enjoy this week's live weekly events. I quite like them. There's a fair selection of cars this week that we tend not to usually get. But yeah, there we go, another one in the bag, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do smash the like button and please consider subscribing. I'm on the drive for 1,000 subs. We're not far from there, guys. Thank you once again. Stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.